If you want to really sound like an English native speaker and speak easily and fluently, a great way to do this is to practice chunking. And I'm going to give you examples and show you exactly how to do it in this video. So let's go! I'm Deirdre Nicholas from Palm Tree Teaching TV, teacher, speaker and your personal English language coach. So if you've watched my last video all about chunking, you'll know that it's a great way to get much more fluent in your spoken English. And using this chunking technique, which I told you about, will really speed up the time it takes too for you to get fluent. How? Because with chunking, you learn whole native speaker phrases, not just little words. And this means that you sound much more natural and your speech comes out easier and more flowing and fluent, without hesitation, because you don't have to think about each and every word. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some great fixed native speaker phrases which you can use and learn in chunks and use tomorrow. Now, if you remember, I told you that you can find these chunks of language in varying different places. So in phrase books, in English books, and also in podcasts, YouTube videos, films, and loads of other places. Now, to show you how it's done, I've taken some examples which you might find in an English phrase book. And then for you, I've added some other chunks to make it sound even more like native speakers would say. So, let's picture the setting. It's in a cafe and you've just bumped into a friend that you haven't seen for quite a long time. By the way, bumped into is a great chunk of speech, and it just means that you've seen this person by accident, not a planned meeting. It doesn't mean that you've actually physically bumped into them. So you could start with something like, "Hi, it's great to see you again," or "Hi there, how are you doing? I haven't seen you for ages." Now these are great fixed phrases. Great to see you again. How are you doing? I haven't seen you for ages. And you'll see that I've put in bold the fixed chunks of language so that you can learn these easily. They're also very good conversation starters, as well as chunks of real native speaker language. Now another fixed chunk could be when you're meeting your friend, "Fancy meeting you here." Then you could go on to chat a bit more. You could say, "Well, as a matter of fact, I often pass this cafe. I know this area like the back of my hand, but I just haven't been in here before." So chunks like "as a matter of fact" or "like the back of my hand" are really useful in many contexts and many situations. As a matter of fact is just like a little introduction to something you wish to say. Now, in your conversation with your friend, you might want to start gossiping a little bit or chatting about people that you know, friends that you know. So it might go something like, "By the way, did you hear about..." And then you'd go on to some juicy little piece of gossip. And maybe you'd say, "You won't believe this, but..." And then there'd be some sort of gossipy chat about somebody that you know. So after you've spent some fun time gossiping about people, you'd probably want to chat about each other and catch up. "How's it going at..." And then whatever the company is that your friend works at. Or you might ask, "So how's work going? What have you been up to?" Now the language chunk, "what have you been up to?" Notice the linking of the words. "What have you been up to?" is a great catch-all phrase that you can ask generally about how life is going. And when you ask about work that your friend is doing, you could say, "Are you still with..." and then the company name. And if your friend has got another job, you might say, "That's brilliant. Good for you." You could also ask her about her family. "How's your family? How are they doing well?" You could talk about your own work as well. Maybe you're not very happy at work, so you might say, "I'm sick and tired of all the hard work," for example. Sick and tired is a really good chunk of language. Now, if your friend is a student, you could say, "How are your studies going? How are your studies going?" And these are all great chunks of language to use and will make you sound totally fluent. And you'll be much more confident if you use these as well. If you learn them as chunks, there will be no hesitation in your speaking. And as you will say them in units, there'll be no need to translate them in your head or think about putting individual words together. Oh, before I go on, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos and lessons. And of course, if you'd like me to help you and become your personal coach, then please email me on the email below this video, deirdre@palmtreeteaching.com. I'd love to hear from you, and I really hope you decide to do this because it will really help you. Okay, so now you want to continue your conversation with your friend, and you might comment on how well she's looking. You might say, "I really love your hair. Have you had it cut recently?" for example, or "You look great. Those glasses really suit you." Then you're in the middle of chatting and suddenly you notice the time. You could say, "I'm so sorry, I've got to go. I've got to get back to the office at 2 o'clock sharp." Now, adding sharp to a time means that you have to be there exactly and precisely on time. Or you could say, "I'd better be going, and it's been great to catch up. Let's meet up again. How about a coffee sometime? Drop me a line when you're free." Or "I'll text you." Now, these phrases are all perfect for closing a conversation with a friend and leaving. "Let's meet up" is a very popular chunk of language, as is "how about" for a suggestion. "Drop me a line" can refer to an email, doesn't just have to be a letter. And of course, "I'll text you" everybody can use anytime. So, all you have to do with these phrases is to learn them and practice using them as soon as you can so that you don't forget them. So go out and use these chunks that I've shown you today tomorrow with all your friends and the people that you know. And also find out more for yourself in English books and in phrase books and all the other ways that I told you about in my previous video. It's great active learning and you'll feel a lot better and more confident for it. So make sure you go and watch my other videos, like and subscribe to this amazing channel where you will improve your English fast and build your English fluency in a fun way. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Enjoy learning your English and I will see you next time. Bye!